A woman was just going to the bathroom. She didn't expect to avoid a disaster. When she was about to return to her seat after using the restroom, suddenly the plane lurched violently. Then she was rushing around in the restroom. The woman screamed for help, but there was no response. When she opened her eyes again, there's dead silence all around her. The woman wanted to open the door and go out to check, but she couldn't open the door. She had no choice but to kick it open. But as the door was opened, she saw that the plane had crashed into a snow-covered mountain. The woman realized that she had been in a plane crash. There were bodies all over the ground. She immediately looked for other survivors. Luckily, she found a survivor. So the woman rushed to get him out of the plane. As the storm continues to build, they didn't want to freeze to death. So they quickly returned to the cabin and searched for supplies to keep them warm. To save their lives, they had to hide in the tiny bathroom. It was the only place they could protect themselves from the storm. And then they put the covers over them, and they snuggled up together. The next day, in order to survive, they embarked on a thrilling journey of survival. However, after crossing one mountain after another, but they never found a single human being. Luckily, they persevered. Soon they will be out of the snowy mountains. So the men tried to go to the edge of the cliff to check the road, but he fell off the cliff because his foot was slippery. The woman rushed down the mountain to check. She found the man lying on the ground in pain. She immediately took off her jacket and covered him. She saw that the man's arm was broken, so she found some branches to fix his broken arm. Seeing the man in great pain, the woman remembered she had painkillers in her pocket. He took a few pills and felt better, but they had been trapped in the mountains for days. To get help, she had to help him alone, but they hadn't gone far. The man suddenly vomited blood. Realizing something was wrong, the woman hurriedly laid him down. What she didn't expect was, the man's stomach was covered with bruises. Obviously, he had internal injuries from the fall. This is the end of the matter. The man had to let the woman leave alone, because he knew it would drag her down. The man couldn't bear the thought of her watching him die like this, but the woman didn't want to leave him. But she didn't have a better idea. The woman said she'd come back for him as soon as she found him. Soon she came to a forest. At this moment, she was almost out of energy. Suddenly, she heard a strange sound. When the woman stopped to look, she realized that a wolf was watching her. The woman was so scared that she tried her best to run away, but she couldn't outrun the wolf. Seeing the wolf behind her getting closer and closer, the woman took off her coat and tied it around her arm. She decided to fight with the wolf. Luckily, there was only one wolf. The woman finally killed the wolf. When she got out of the forest, she found a highway. But just then, the woman fainted because she couldn't hold on to her strength. When she woke up again, she found her mother in front of her. She was saved by a passing driver, and her friend was in the next room. After they were discharged from the hospital, they went back to the mountain where they started. They marveled at the beauty of the world and the preciousness of life.